Welcome again to Cultural Geography, Geography 102. This video is going to serve as a short introduction to the syllabus. If you have not done so already, you should go back and read the syllabus thoroughly. Follow along with it. Follow it all semester. A lot of students in this online class make the mistake of not paying attention to the syllabus after the first week of class. This is a mistake. You want to make sure that you know what's coming up, what's due for that week. It's pretty self-explanatory in the modules, but it's also helpful to look at the course calendar. Also, you're going to want to understand how the assignments work. You are going to want to understand how to calculate your grade, so please follow along with that syllabus as the course goes. Again, my name is Jamie Rossiter. I hold office hours on Mondays online from 12 to 1 p.m. on Google Hangouts. You do not need a Gmail address to use Google Hangouts. You can just go to hangouts.google.com, take any old email address, including your school one, and create a login with it. You can find me on there at jrossiter@sdccd.edu. And so you would just click on New Conversation and find me. So I will be on there on Mondays from 12 to 1. You can just chat back and forth with me. You can also do a video call if you are so inclined. You can also make an appointment with me to meet with me on Google Hangouts. I live in Orange County, as I mentioned in the previous video, so I am not on campus. I only teach this one class online for Miramar. But basically, you are going to, if you want to meet with me, that's fine. If you want to meet in person, we can find a time to do so. I'm in San Diego with some frequency, so we can work that out. But generally speaking, online is the way that you're going to want to contact me. If you contact me by email, I will respond to you normally within 24 hours. But except for on the weekends. I try not to look at my email on the weekends, so if you email me on a Sunday night, you're going to have to wait till Monday. If you email me on a Friday night, you're going to have to wait till Monday. There is 1 week during the semester where I'm going to be out of the country. This does not mean that I will not have access to email, but it will be a little less consistent. And I will let you guys know about that. I will give you plenty of warning for that. So what is the class that you're taking? The course description from the Miramar College catalog. This course is an introduction to thematic cultural geography. Emphasis is placed on population, race, language, religion, settlement patterns, political organization, economic activities, industry, and the regional distribution of these elements. This is a really good kind of broad survey of what we're going to cover in this class. We're going to cover all of these topics, but we're going to look at them from a geographic perspective. So for example, there's a map here that's the major religions of the world. When we talk about religions, we're going to talk about different aspects of these religions, how they spread, and why they are in places that they are in today. So again, we're looking at things geographically, right? How do they kind of spread across space? Your required text for this class is The Cultural Landscape by Rubinstein, the 12th edition, and you do need the 12th edition. I'm guessing most of you do not have this textbook right now, and that is fine. You should try to get it by next week. You do not need it to complete the first module. Technically, you're supposed to be reading Chapter 1 this week, but if you catch up with Chapter 1 later, that's fine. There's also a copy available at the library for you to use. You're going to want to be familiar with Blackboard, right? You've already logged in and you've gotten this far, so that's good. But generally speaking, if you're new to Blackboard, you're going to want to make sure that you know how to use it. You might want to do some of the student tutorials that are available to you. But everything for this class takes place on Blackboard, so you're going to want to know it really well. So this is what our course homepage looks like. So it's got the introduction start here, which is where you are right now, your syllabus, which you are going to want to read thoroughly, and then our modules, and I'll talk in a second about what modules are. The student orientation and tutorials, those are the colleges, again, so you can learn how to use Blackboard, and I believe below that there's a link. in that folder below it, there is a link to student help. If you cannot log into Blackboard, if you have an error accessing or submitting your assignment, if you can't figure out your way around Blackboard, these are the type of things you're going to want to contact the college for, not me. If you get kicked out of the middle of the exam, call me. Or don't call me, email me, and we'll work it out. But general kind of ins and outs of Blackboard, that is not my area. You're going to want to access those resources on campus. So what is a module? Each week will consist of one module. So I believe we have 16 over the course of the semester. This is week 1. We're going to do module 1. Modules become available at 9 a.m. on Monday, and you have until 9 a.m. the following Monday to complete it. There's 2 exceptions to this. One is Labor Day, which is due on Tuesday because of the Labor Day holiday. And the second is the last day of the semester is December 17th, which I think is a Saturday. You are going to have to hand in that module by that Saturday, and I do not accept any work past the last day of the class. And I will give you a good reminder of that beforehand. But each module consists of, a little kind of introduction, telling you what we're going to learn about, lectures that you're going to watch, exercises that you can complete. If you have an exam, there's an exam in there. There may be study guides for an exam or a map quiz. Basically, you're going to tab through the module page by page and complete it each week. So what is our coursework for this class? What are you being graded on? Exams. We have 3 exams. They are worth 50 points each. You'll get a study guide before the exam. The week that you take the exam, the only thing you're really doing that week is the exam, with the exception of the last module. You'll also hand in your final project. Your exam answers need to come from lectures and your textbook. If you copy something off of the internet that is plagiarism, you will get a 0 on the entire exam. So don't do that. Make sure you study for the exams. Exams are timed. You can't backtrack. There's a mixture of short answer and multiple choice questions on the exams. So if you decide to sit down next to your friend and take the exam together, you guys are going to get the questions in different orders and you won't be able to go backwards, so it's not going to help you any. We also do 4 map quizzes worth 20 points each, not 20 pints each, but that would be nice. Excuse the typo. You'll also get a study guide for that. Map quizzes, basically you get a study guide that's a blank map and a list of places that you need to know. So it's pretty helpful to print out the map and label them. And then you can have that in front of you when you take your map quiz. You only get 15 minutes to answer 20 questions on the map quiz. It goes very quickly. It is a multiple choice. So if there's a number 1 on the map, I will give you 4 choices. Tell me what number 1 is. If you do not study for the map quiz and you think, well, I'll just take the map quiz and I will Google it while I am doing the map quiz, there's no way you'll finish. People try that every semester. They get through half of it and then they've failed the map quiz. So don't do that. Exercises, there's 16 exercises worth 10 points each. Those will either be like a discussion post or a discussion question you have to answer, or you will have to complete some sort of activity in order to get credit for that. There's a final survey, which is something that I use at the end of the class. It's anonymous, but I can see that you completed it and you get 15 points for it as a way to give me kind of detailed feedback on the class. And then there's a plagiarism quiz, which is part of Module 1. You're going to learn all about plagiarism in Module 1, and then you have a quiz. You can take it 3 times to improve your score, but it's a learning exercise. This plagiarizing in an online class is very tempting and very easy, and will get you a big fat F. So don't do it. It's pretty easy for me to tell whether or not you got the stuff from me or from some random place on the internet where you copied and pasted. Lastly, your final project is a photo essay, which the prompt for the photo essay is already available on Blackboard, but it will make more sense to you as you complete the class, and please feel free to ask me questions about this. And that's a total of 500 points. So when the class is done, take the number of points you've earned, divide by 500, and there is your score. Again, do not trust that grade that is showing on Blackboard. Until I input zeros for anything you haven't handed in, it will make your average look higher than it is. And sometimes it takes me a while to input those zeros because I'm waiting to see if people are going to hand in late work. Speaking of late work, full credit for late assignments will only be given in the case of a documented illness or another valid documented reason. 10% will be deducted per day for lateness. After 1 week, assignments will not be accepted. You can't even access the assignments after 1 week in order for me to take them. I suggest you don't fall behind. Also, you can't work ahead in this class. It's not allowed. It's an online class. You're not supposed to be allowed to work ahead. That would be a correspondence class, which is a different type of class. So you can't work ahead if you say, hey, can I complete the module now for this because I'm going away somewhere? The answer is no. You are not allowed to. But again, I do accept late work. Sometimes, things happen. You get sick. You don't get to that module by 9 a.m. on Monday, but you're going to get it to 9 a.m. on Tuesday. It's better to hand in the work late than not at all. Special accommodations. If you have a physical or learning disability for which you receive accommodation, please let me know as soon as possible and email me copies of the documents associated with your disability accommodation. By copies of the documents associated with your disability accommodation, I do not mean your medical records. Please do not send them to me. That has happened in the past. The college decides whether or not you get disability accommodations, and so you need to go through them, and they will give you documentation to send to me. And usually in an online class, that is just that you have extra time to complete an exam, which is easy for me to do, but I need the accommodations. You can't email me the accommodations after the exam. It doesn't do us any good. All materials posted to Blackboard will be accessible to students with disabilities, but please let me know if you encounter any issue with accessibility. Cheating and plagiarism, this is in the syllabus, and I'm not going to read it all here, but basically if you get caught cheating or plagiarizing, you're going to get a 0 and you're going to be reported to the college. It's one of the fastest and easiest ways to fail the class. So I highly suggest that you don't do it and you take those plagiarism materials that I give you seriously. This is your course schedule. It is the last page of your syllabus. We have here our modules. There are 16 of them. We have a nice little Thanksgiving break in here. It's the day the module opens and the day that it's due. You can see it's the same day here, right? One is due and the other one opens up. The exception, again, that Tuesday for Labor Day and then the last day of the class, which is the 17th. The topics we're going to cover, the chapter you should be reading at the same time, the assignments that are due, whether it's exercises, a map quiz, some weeks you have exams and then you don't have anything else due that week, but follow this schedule. So again, read that syllabus closely, keep it with you, read it again, and welcome to the class. You're now going to proceed on to Module 1.